Thank you. All right, meeting is being recorded, and anyone who do not want to be recorded any particular section of the meeting, please do let our Zoom moderator, Mr. Sankhya, know, and he would pause the recording at that duration. Now, as we move towards our meeting, all of us are experienced Toastmasters. So let me just do a quick recap of Toastmasters with a brief round of questions. Who can tell me when was Toastmasters founded? Anyone can mute. I know everyone knows the answer to this question at least. Nibi is like, huh? Kids question.
1924.
1924. That's right. The Toastmasters was founded in October 1924 by Ralph C. Smedley at YMCA California, Santa Ana. But can someone tell me when was the first Toastmaster meeting happened? When did it happen? And I will also confirm the answer to that. Anyone who would like to answer? All right. So let me answer that question myself. If anyone wants to go, this is your last chance. Sankhya, Nibi, Mansi. Yeah, Mansi is unmuting herself.
The question.
When was the first Toastmasters meeting? When did the first Toastmaster meeting happen?
Was
1905.
March.
1905 is famous for other things, but not Toastmasters. And if your answer is 1915, that's Titanic.
No, I think what Mansi is talking about is the first unofficial meeting of Toastmasters.
Correct.
Long way from the year.
Yes, it was. So the first unofficial meeting was, I think, some day in March. I can't remember the exact date. In
It's getting warmer. In 19 what?
1905. That was the first unofficial one. The official one was, I think, in 1922.
27.
I have to confirm the year now. Yeah, I was right. So the month is correct. It was March. Date is 24, and the year is none other than 1924. So the first unofficial Toastmaster meeting also happened in 1924. In March 1924, a full around 5 to 6 months before, it was founded on 22nd October in 1924 itself. All right, next question. And so can someone tell me when was Speakers and Toastmasters founded? Yes, Mansi, go ahead.
2012. That's all I remember.
2012. That's all you remember. That's all right. So Speakers and Toastmasters was founded in September 2012, and it celebrated its a decade-long anniversary in the last September. And today we are here after 10 years, and we are still going strong with the folks that are constantly being part of Speakers Den and making sure that we are reaching new heights, striving for success and overcoming their challenges by joining us in their journey of public speaking and leadership. Now, let's go towards our today's meeting. Our today's meeting, we have one guest, and this meeting is just like another cup of tea for her. So may I please request our guest, Toastmaster Nibi, to introduce herself to the club. Toastmaster Nibi, over to you.
Thank you very much, Tanmay. I think I'll keep my introduction short. I've been a Toastmaster for about 5 years now, and I'm a member of LA 1924 Toastmasters Club. I have served the club in various roles in the club ExCom. I've served as an area director last year and the current Division A director. And coronation co-chair, I guess. But professionally, I am a genetic counselor. I'm an entrepreneur. That's about it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nibi, and thanks a lot for being part of Speakers Den meeting number 324. And I officially announce the meeting number 324 in session. The bang of this sunglasses case as gavel.
Can't see the gravel because of the background.
Now you see it on the white background. Now, I would like to hand over the meeting to our master of ceremony, our Toastmaster today, Toastmaster Sonal. Toastmaster, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay. A typical Toastmasters meeting will comprise of 3 different sections. And I will be your MC today. I'm not the typical TMOD because I'm just stitching the meeting together. So we have 3 sessions planned up for today. That is the prepared speech session, where members will come prepared with speeches and deliver them. Then we have the table topic session, where you will be asked to speak extempore, that is off the cuff, on a generic topic. And then we have something called as the general evaluation session, which I would call as the backbone of a Toastmasters meeting, where you will be given feedback on where things went right and where things can be improved. And today, as the general evaluator, we have with us the senior most member of Speakers Den, a highly accomplished, celebrated Toastmaster who's accomplished so much, who's won numerous contests, who's mentored champion speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, please help me welcome on the stage Toastmaster Sankhya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sonal, and a very good morning, dear Toastmasters and our lovely guests. So today my role as the evaluator and the general evaluator combined together, putting in 2 hats together. So while I will be evaluating our speaker, and as a general evaluator, I would also be evaluating the meeting end-to-end. So what went well, what could have been improved on, and to help me with this role, I have our timer for the day, Toastmaster Mansi, who would be helping us with the timing. So before we call up Toastmaster Mansi, just wanted to quickly check on the background. Okay, that's fine. So Toastmaster Mansi, over to you as a timer. Please share the objective of the timer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shankya, for giving me this opportunity over the stage. Good morning, my dear fellow Toastmasters and dear guests present here. It's not about time. It's about what makes the difference and how much time you take. So everybody here, you have taken out some amount of time today on Sunday to meet and expect something out of this meeting. That's my role. I'm going to take care of each and every speaker's time, how much is taken, and in the end of the meeting, I am going to present my report based on what is the whole time taken. How we will do it is, just give me a minute, let me share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So we have segment of table topics. All the table topic speakers should limit themselves for 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, there will be a green light which will be visible on the screen. At the end of 1 minute, 30 seconds, there'll be a yellow light on your screen. At the end of 2 minutes, there'll be a red light on your screen. Based on these lights, if you exceed more than 2 minutes, there will be a disqualification of 2 minutes, 30 seconds. You have a buffer time of 30 seconds there. For evaluations, the evaluators should limit themselves for 2 to 3 minutes. At the end of 2 minutes, you will see a green light on your screen, a yellow light on your screen at the end of 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And after 3 minutes, you will see a red light on your screen. Based on what type of speech you are taking, apart from the icebreakers, there will be other prepared speeches, which will be limited to 5 to 7 minutes. So all the prepared speakers should look at the screen and the green light at the end of 5 minutes. At the end of 6 minutes, there will be a yellow light displayed. And at the end of 7 minutes, there will be a red light displayed. Please take this as an alarm to how much time you take in this meeting. If there are any icebreaker speeches, they should limit themselves for 4 to 6 minutes. That's it. Over to you, Toastmaster Shankya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi. But however, can you continue with the screen and just show the timing as well? The time cards.
What I'm doing is we need to just
1 second. Yeah. No, then the custom. Now, in the custom, just create it for 1 second, 2 second, 3 second.
That's the green, yellow, and red.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi. Now, let me hand over the stage back to our moderator for the day, Toastmaster Sonal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. So without further delay, we will now go to our prepared speech section. And today we have just one speaker, a very eloquent speaker. She's already introduced herself, but I'd like to take this opportunity and privilege to introduce her once again. She is the past president of a very prestigious club, the LA 1924 Club. She has served as an area director. I've had the most beautiful time working with her. I was very lucky when she was the area director because I won all the contests in her area. She is somebody who's so meticulously, she plans so well, she organizes very well. She's a genetic counselor, an entrepreneur, now currently serving as the Division A director, always planning something, very proactive, a members leader. Ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, please help me welcome on stage Division A Director, Toastmaster Nibi.
And sorry, and before Toastmaster Nibi starts with, let me, as an evaluator, give the evaluation.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry.
And
Okay.
Toastmaster Nibi, please intimate me when I have to start the timer.
I'll,
if you're ready.
yeah, okay. And Toastmaster Mansi, you can unshare your screen at the moment. Okay. So for Toastmaster Nibi, the speech will be the purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a long humorous speech. And timer, please note the timing will be 18 to 22 minutes. Right. Okay. So with that, I would hand it over, pass it back to Toastmaster Sonal.
So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Toastmaster Nibi.
Thank you, Sonal. Mansi, you can show the green card at maybe 18 minutes, yellow at 20 and red at 22. Does that work?
Yeah, just setting it according to just what you said, I guess. Just
All
give
right.
me a minute.
Sure.
So just let me know if you can see the screen. Now the speech starts whenever you give me the intimation, but the green light will be at 18 minutes, yellow light at 20 minutes, red light at 22 minutes. Post that 22 minutes, 30 seconds will be your disqualification.
Yep. Thank you.
Your time starts now.
Thank you. So I was hoping that Sonal would say our speaker today requires no introduction, but apparently Sonal thought that I would need all the introduction that I can get. But thank you very much for that very gracious introduction, Sonal, and it was always my honor to work with you, not just in the capacity of an area director, but division director as well. Ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests, first request, if you are on the system and if possible, do come on video so that I can see you while I'm delivering my keynote. All right. The 28th president of the US, Woodrow Wilson, had a saying, if a dog will not come to you after having looked you in the face, you should go home and examine your conscience. Dogs, those very lovable, tail-wagging, four-legged creatures, can have an uncanny ability to bring joy and laughter into our lives. They possess a wisdom that goes unnoticed amidst their adorable antics and uncontrollable excitement over anything and everything, including a squirrel on a tree. They are truly our best friend, but sometimes they can be, well, a little loopy like mine. And some of my life lessons and leadership lessons are, well, from Brutus. To give you a context, I had planned my life out like many of us here. I will first get an education, master's, then find a life partner, then get married, buy a car, then have a kid, maybe two, and then a squishy little puppy, in that very specific order. Well, most of this remained a plan. In August 2016, came home a 10-month-old piranha in the body of an adult-sized, malnourished dog, a German Shepherd. He could barely walk, but would bite anything and anyone that was around him. His reflexes were so good, it made one recognize how slow our reflexes were. Getting him to a vet or just trying to get him into the car in his first week to figure out what was wrong with him, it took what seemed like an army of friends wearing multiple layers of those winter jackets. You know, the ones that we purchase on a whim thinking that, oh, we will use it at some point, but it stays in our cupboard for the longest time possible before we decide to donate it. Those, by the end of getting him into the car, each jacket had been ripped completely. At the vets, they had to give him anesthesia just to examine him. That's when the most infuriating thing came to light. This little thing had been abused so much, kept pretty much locked up in his shed, not much bigger than he was for most of his life. I had tears in my eyes when I heard all of the problems that he had. If this dog were to be taken home as someone's pet, and I say someone's because I had planned for him to be adopted here in Bangalore, and by this point you would have realized that he is a clear foster fail. Before he could be someone's pet, he were to undergo multiple surgeries on both sides of his hip just to be able to walk. Without the surgery, he would be completely immobile by the time he was about a year and a half, and then would have to be put down. After that would come, at least, if it was successful, if the surgery was conducted, it would take at least 6 months of rehabilitation and then training, or well, try to train him at least. He was never socialized, and the human who was supposed to take care of him had left him to rot, hitting him and leaving him broken. No wonder he was an anxious bag of bones. So I had to take a call. While he was under on an X-ray table, I moved away trying to find signal on my phone to make a call. I heard the vet calling me back saying he's trying to wake up, but he shouldn't be considering the dose of anesthesia. I went back and he settled. I walked away again and he tried to wake up again. That was the moment I realized I had not made him mine, but he had made me his human. There was no turning back after that point. The surgery went splendidly, and since he was at the vets for a few days after the surgery, every time I'd go visit him, he wouldn't be able to stand, but I would see his tail wagging. I never had dogs prior to him. I was so lost. After the surgery, my friends and I went to pick him up. When the vet assistant told me to pick him up, I was clueless and kept darting my eyes between the vet assistant and my friends. Finally, he explained how to pick up a dog, and I was still terrified. My friend mustered the courage to pick him up and carry him to the car. But anyway, this isn't about me or how this dog came into my life. This is about what I learned from him. Lesson number 1, live in the moment. Brutus is the master of carpe diem, seizing the day. His version being carpe treats all day long or carpe belly rubs all day long. He never wastes time worrying about the past or fretting about the future, unlike me. He is fully present in each moment. Every walk, even if it is the same route, is like an adventure every single time. It's like a never-ending game of sniff everything where he is the reigning champion. He has an uncanny ability to sniff every single tree, lamppost, and blade of grass in the vicinity. And just when I think he's done, he finds that one spot that requires an additional 5 minutes of investigation. Talk about dedication. Whether he's sniffing the entire lane or engaging in an epic game of fetch. He has a different definition of fetch, by the way. I throw the ball, he runs to the ball, and then he keeps running with the ball. I have to run after him and pry the ball out of his mouth. Whatever it is, he is completely in that moment. Now, just imagine if we could all adopt their carefree attitude. Just imagine how much more we could enjoy life. Lesson number 2, being persistent. The persistence of Brutus. He never gives up, especially when it comes to begging for food. He'll employ every tactic that there is in the book, from the infamous puppy dog eyes or the moon eyes. Yes, that's a thing. To the very stealthy, I'm so cute, you have to give me a treat maneuver. He taught me that perseverance pays off. And if that doesn't work, then stealth mode does. Remember when I told you he has excellent reflexes? There were so many times earlier when I keep an egg on the kitchen counter and I'd just turn around to pick up some oil to put on the pan and the egg vanishes. I used to think that I'd just lost my mind. I was being forgetful. I maybe thought I'd kept an egg there, but instead of actually getting an egg. The truth came to light much later. In that moment, the moment my eyes are off the kitchen counter, it's like he channels his inner ninja, executing a swift maneuver to snatch the egg, an entire egg, without leaving any evidence of the crime. So it's like a magic trick. Now you see it, now you don't. And then give me that innocent, wide-eyed look as if to say, who, me? I didn't do anything. So the next time life throws you a bone, don't just sit there. Just go get whatever it is that you want. Lesson number 3, embrace enthusiasm. He exudes enthusiasm in everything he does. Whether it is greeting me at the door after a long day or chasing his own tail, he gives it his all. He loves going on a drive so much that while we are out on a walk, if a random cab or car stops and the door opens, he is happy to just go jump in. Needless to say, he scared the life out of many people by this antic of his. Imagine if we tackled each day with the same level of enthusiasm as he does. Mondays would suddenly be a lot more bearable, and the world would be filled with wagging tails and wagging tongues as we all take joy in life's simple pleasures. Lesson number 4, be loyal. Loyalty is one of the most endearing qualities of my canine companion. He sticks to my side through thick and thin, unwavering support, unconditional love. He reminds me of the importance of loyalty in our relationships and inspires me to be a faithful friend, a better friend, a good partner and companion. I was hit with COVID in the second wave, and it was bad. My lungs were infected so bad that I was put on steroids, with the doctor even suggesting that I might have to head to the hospital as soon as possible. But I decided to stay home since I was able to manage things. It's at that time that I realized I would have these breath-holding spells in my sleep because of the physical pain and exhaustion. And every time that happened, Brutus would come and wake me up. And when I was up in the morning walking to the bathroom, I would need to get the support of the walls to even walk. But this guy would be stuck to my legs all the way to the bathroom and lodge himself between the bathroom door and the wall. This from a boy who hates any form of physical contact at the time. Sometimes I shudder to think what would have happened to me without him. So let's all strive to be as loyal as our furry friends. Lesson number 5, find joy in the little things. Brutus has an innate ability to find joy in the simplest of things, be it a walk in the park, a belly rub, or even just lying down in a puddle of water, no matter how dirty it is. He taught me that happiness can be found in the ordinary moments of life. So take a cue from my dog and cherish in those everyday pleasures. Who needs a fancy vacation when you can find contentment in a squeaky, squishy little toy? Lesson number 6, practice forgiveness. Brutus is a master of forgiveness. He never holds grudges. I have stepped on his tail accidentally many times. He would just turn, stare at me, and then just walk away. If I was late to fill his food bowl, no antics, he would just wait very patiently. He offers a lesson in the power of letting go and moving forward. So let's take a page from the doggy manual of forgiveness and bury those bones of resentment. After all, life is too short to hold on to the time that the stray dog or the neighbor's dog stole his favorite chew toy. Lesson number 7, love unconditionally. Love, the most important lesson of them all. Despite his history and every reason to not love or trust another human being, he still has been able to love without judgment, without hesitation, and without reservation. He teaches to love unconditionally, to accept others for who they are, and to wag our tails and let things go when life gets difficult. So I try every single time to be a little bit more like Brutus and spread love and kindness wherever I go. Dogs, my fellow Toastmasters, are not just a source of laughter, but also a tremendous source of comfort. They possess an extraordinary ability to sense our emotions and offer their unwavering support. It's as if they have some honorary degree in dog therapy. If you're feeling sad, stressed, anxious, simply need a cuddle. There's no communication. There's no need of having to verbalize and say it out, but he's there when he knows I need that additional support. He reminds me to cherish the simple joys in life and live in the present moment. I'm one of those people who always has a list of things to accomplish. I have a daily list, a weekly list, a monthly list, and a yearly list. And in the fervor to check off these checklists, I often forget to take joy, stop, take a pause, and enjoy being here in the now, in the today. Well, coming back to career, in terms of a career, there is nothing that Brutus cannot do. He's the guardian not just of my house, but the entire street. He's a ninja. My friend and flatmate Renee every morning would notice that the change she would keep for her rickshaw to get to her work would go missing every morning. So she was so sure that she was again just being forgetful. I, on the other hand, was at home. I was taking a break between two jobs. Every morning I woke up, I'd notice a 10 rupees, a 50 rupees, and sometimes coins on my floor. It didn't take too long for me to figure out what was happening. I mean, I was out of a job, but I was not so broke also. One morning, I caught him in action. Just when he noticed that I had spotted him, he remained like a statue with a 100-rupee note in his mouth until I moved out of that room. In conclusion, my friends, dogs are more than just pets. He has been a teacher, a comedian when I needed some laughter, a therapist when I was going through a difficult time, all wrapped up in that furry package. He reminds me to live in the moment, be persistent, embrace enthusiasm, be loyal, find joy in the little things, practice forgiveness, and above all, forget and love unconditionally. So as we go forth from here today, let us remember the valuable lessons and strive to be the best versions of ourselves. A person can learn a lot from a dog, even from a loopy one like mine. Brutus has taught me about living each day with unburdened exuberance and joy, about seizing the moment, following my heart. He has taught me to appreciate the simple things while I am looking at ticking off those checklists that I have, to live in the moment and be present. He taught me a walk, a nap, sitting and chilling on the balcony, watching squirrels. All of this can give you immense joy. Most of all, what he has taught me is about friendship, about selflessness, and above all, unwavering loyalty. Now, if you don't have a pet, or if you've never had a dog, I'd suggest get one. Not because you're bored, not because there's nothing else to do, but because they truly are the greatest companions of all. Maybe even better, adopt one. Thank you, and may your days be filled with wagging tails, wet noses, and an abundance of laughter. I'm happy to take questions if there's any questions for me. And here is Brutus. So if anyone has any question for me, I'd be happy to take that.
Who will be your first love, your Brutus or you?
That has to be Brutus.
The message.
I mean, I would love to say me, but I think it goes the other way around. So how many of you here have had pets, or maybe even the local stray dog that you just adopt?
I've had a pet story similar to you. I
Okay.
do foster street dogs.
Okay, lovely.
Cats,
I
dogs.
always wanted to have a dog, wanted to have pets, but I always thought it was going to be after I had these plans of mine sorted out, and then I'd have a dog. Oh wow, 3 dogs, 3 cats, 1 parrot, 10 white mice. How do you manage?
These
Are
were
all
in like in different time in my life since childhood till last
okay?
year.
Because I was looking at 3 cats, 10 white mice, not a great combo. 3 cats, 1 parrot, not a great combo.
No, but one of my uncle, he has all of them at the same time in his house. He has around like 50, 60 birds, those lovebirds that you find in a museum and or in zoos and all, the small birds. And he had like 2 dogs, one Pomeranian, one German Shepherd. And the Pomeranian had babies, so there were like multiple dogs. And then he also had rabbits, he also had fish and tortoise. It's all in the one house at the same time.
Lovely.
So
I mean,
So you had all
we
these
used to call it a
pets.
little zoo.
yeah, that is the dream. I mean, at some point when I have made enough money, the idea is to go start a farmhouse and have like these rehabilitated animals there and just be surrounded by them.
Mm, That's a nice idea. I also was thinking the same for the last couple of years, but let's see when it gets fulfilled.
Yeah, I think there is a joke that my friends have about me, that whatever I do in terms of work, in terms of earning and trying to increase my earning capacity, it's so that I can provide the most luxury for my dog and my pets. It's not that I live in luxury or I go out shopping, nothing. But every time I go out, I spot a pet shop and I walk in there and I pick up something for Brutus. It can be some treats, it can be some toys. I mean, none of the toys last. That is a different story altogether. But essentially, the joke is I work so hard so that I can provide for my pet.
I have no more questions or comments.
I
And
have one
you-
question. Somebody else was speaking.
I was saying, can I ask or you?
No, you go ahead. I've already had one question.
Brutus is connected to you or maybe an other member of the family.
I mean, at this point, he is connected to everyone. Obviously, he is like a fierce protector for me, even though I don't need protection. So when I took him to a dog trainer for his behavioral issues long ago, the trainer had asked me to take a video of when we go on a walk, because he would just be pulling on his leash a few times. My friends who tried to take him for a walk, they've come back having a fall. That's how bad he would pull. And the idea, the trainer then said, after watching the video, he said, I now know why your dog is always pulling on the leash when others take him for a walk. That's so that he can come back as soon as possible to home to make sure that I am safe and he's there to protect me. So he's not going out to enjoy his walk. And the same case, even now, like even if I step out, the house that I live in right now has no doorbell. And I don't need one, because the minute some bike comes and slows down in front of the house, he knows there is somebody outside the house. So he's taken on this role of being this master protector at all times. And he follows me around. I have to be in his range of vision. So even right now, the door is wide open, but he's come and plonked down here. And my neighbors call him, a little wolf, because he's just a little smaller than a wolf, but his looks are menacing. So wherever we are going for a walk, if I'm on the right side of the road and there are people coming walking towards us, the minute they see him, he will stop and he'll let out a little growl. And the minute they see him, they just cross and continue walking on the other side of the road. But he's very protective of the people that he's already met. So a lot of my friends come home, he's met them. And when there's, say, 10, 15 people together in the house, he has to find a spot for himself such that he can see everybody. So he tries to protect everybody. And even my parents don't live here in the same city. And so he's met my parents some 4 years ago. And my parents came down to visit us in Bangalore at one point of time. And he was meeting them after 4 years. So my mom is very scared of dogs in general. And so she was like, oh my God, this dog is just going to rip me to pieces. I don't want to come visit. And my dad literally just forced her to come. They rang the doorbell and I opened the door. He just ran to my dad and mom, and he just started licking my mom's feet. So he remembered them. So he's protective, I'd like to say, about everybody that he meets, and who he somehow recognizes they are members of the family. So of course, needless to say, when my parents are here, I am not the child. It's my dog that is their child. So there's a lot of special cooking that happens for Brutus. There's a lot of extra love and cuddles that he gets. So I don't exist when my parents are here. But yes, I think what I also wanted to say is there's a lot of people who think that, adult dogs cannot be adopted. If they've been given, so especially in the pandemic, there are a lot of people who went ahead and picked up puppies because they were bored. They thought it would be nice to have a dog as a companion. And they realize how much of work goes into having a pet dog, in terms of exercise, in terms of walking them. And when they feel like, oh, this is not something that they can handle, they just abandon them. So there are a lot of shelters in Bangalore that have these adult labs, golden retrievers, German shepherds, because people have just abandoned them. And they're not like humans. They don't hold grudges. The love that you give, they give you much more. So if you're ever considering having a pet, do not hesitate to go and adopt maybe an adult one. In fact, it is easier to have an adult dog than a puppy, because puppyhood up until the age of 2 or 3, they are just super excited, running around, destroying things in the house. But an adult dog is a lot more calmer, and you will not have stuff destroyed around home.
One question I have, maybe. If
Yes.
not this name to your pet, what would be the second name you have thought?
Oh, I haven't really thought of a name, but I think I would call him Loki, because he is
God
an
of mischief.
absolute prankster.
If you get a second dog, what would you name him or her?
If I get a second, I can't get a second dog because this guy is just.
If
Oh, I don't know. I think it will completely depend on the character of the dog, I guess.
name them Mars, so it would be Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars. That's a good one.
Maybe Julius Caesar.
Sorry, maybe.
Julius Caesar, because Brutus and Julius Caesar are connected.
Yeah, then they will bark like attitude brute.
No, so there is actually a story that I didn't know. My dad just told me that when he was young, he also had a German Shepherd, and the name was Caesar.
Caesar and
But-
Brutus.
Yeah, so it was a very, and that was the only German Shepherd that he had. So it was a very, would you say, very unique thing that we came across. And I'd never heard that story from my father before he mentioned it.
Julius
Just a
Caesar.
heads up. Just a heads up. This is not being timed, so we are open for questions.
I think we may have crossed 22 minutes by now. And of course, I mean, if you don't have any questions right now, but you have questions or maybe just comments for me later, please feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, I think Sonal has my contact number, Mansi has my contact. Feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nabi, for enriching us with your beautiful experience, the one that you share with your pet. With that, we come to the end of our prepared speech section, and we will now go into our table topic session, which is going to be conducted by the most consistent member of our club, somebody who's so committed and who's so sincere about his Toastmasters journey that he logs in through a phone from a remote place in Bihar, and he doesn't miss a single Toastmasters meeting because he wants to learn. He's committed to his growth and development. He's always there, ready. He's a VP Education's dream, because every time I offer him any role, he's ready to pick it up. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our most hardworking and consistent member, Toastmaster Venkatesh.
Thank you, Sonal, for your beautiful introduction. First, I'm audible and clear.
Yes, Venkatesh, you are audible and loud and clear.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I am performing the role of the table topic master, in which I will give you the topic. As Timer Mansi said, you have to speak for at least 1 minute and maximum for 2 minutes. Don't hesitate to volunteer it, because I have prepared the topics in such a way that it is connected to our daily lives. Choose your favorite number between 1 and 12, and remember that other members of the club do not repeat it. So who would like first?
If no one's volunteering, I can take it up.
Okay. So choose your number between 1 and 12 so that I can see in Kundli what topic you got.
Venkatesh, can you please repeat topic?
Choose your favorite number between 1 and 12 so that I can see the number. What topic
Okay,
you got?
7.
7. You have got the topic. If you were invisible for a day,
If I were invisible for a day, it would have been a day which will make all my dreams come true since I've watched Mr. India when I was a little kid. I would go and raid different shops and get all the items that I want. I will pull pranks on my friends, on my teammates, especially my manager, by taking out his car keys and hiding them somewhere, or just taking his laptop and hiding it in the pantry or something like that, because he would not know who have done this, and there would be no CCTV footage for the same, which would make me not eligible for doing this crime at the point. I will go to some politician's house and rob them of their black money because they can't report it, and I would get the money. Unless it's a 2000 rupees note, which is actually banned, then I would leave my 2000 rupees note at their place as well. Because who will go to the bank and stand in the queue just to exchange 20,000 at one time? Rather, I take all my money, withdraw them at 2000, take 2000 notes from people at a charge of 1500, put it in a banker in some locker, and take the 500 rupees notes from them. It would be a good business for one day, but yeah, enough to make me open this farmhouse with dogs. So yeah, definitely that's the life goal. And one thing that I have been thinking, like, because I'm only invisible for a day, I cannot go any long distance or something. I cannot travel in the flight, otherwise they will discover me at the immigration and deport me immediately. I will try to do everything that I can in Bangalore. I would visit the places where normal people are not allowed, such as Vidhan Soda. It's the chamber of secrets for all the politics activity that are going on in Karnataka. So yeah, definitely some place I would like to visit. And it would also make a fun headline in the newspapers: a bike riding by itself in the traffic. So yeah, that would be something, but I cannot put my claim on it because, as I said, I am invisible, and I cannot let the secret out because then they would be coming after me. Thank you.
thank you, Tanmay, for your intake. For those who are having 2000 notes, secretly contact Tanmay.
I will exchange them with a rate of 1500 for 2000 rupees note. Okay.
Toastmaster Sonal, can you take it? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Toastmaster Sonal,
Yes.
choose your number between 1 and 12.
8.
8. Okay. What is the secret of your Toastmaster success?
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh, for that question. It's a very thought-provoking question. What is the secret of my Toastmaster success? Firstly, I don't think I'm a very successful Toastmaster. And I don't know what exactly goes into making of a successful Toastmaster. However, I'm enjoying the journey. I was supposed to join Toastmasters in the year 2013 because my then friend, today boyfriend, told me about the numerous benefits. He's a very accomplished Toastmaster. And because of that, he thought I would be a big hit. And that's why he encouraged me to join Toastmasters in 2013. But I don't know, it somehow didn't appeal to me, it didn't interest me, so I didn't join. And in 2019, I joined Toastmasters, I joined Garden City Toastmasters Club, and I fell in love with the movement. And I was like, hey, I should have joined 6 years ago, and by now I would have been a double DTM, or I would have become a district champion, so one of those. So that's when I understood that these kind of matters, I shouldn't have procrastinated. Having said that, it's all right because I joined when I thought was right and not when he thought it was right for me to join. And I joined with a very prestigious club, the most prestigious club in the country, my former club, the first club in India. And I don't have any regrets. I think what is the secret of my Toastmaster success is the fact that I enjoy it. I enjoy every single meeting. I enjoy every single role that I take up, every single educational session that I conduct, every single excomposition that I fill. And I've had great friends like Tanmay, Nibi, Sankhya, who always helped me grow in my Toastmasters journey. So the secret, in my opinion, is to enjoy yourself and surround yourself by great people, with great people. Back to you, Toastmaster Venkatesh.
Thank you, Sonal. I'm also looking for follow your footsteps to improve my speaking skills. Now, Toastmaster Sankhya, choose your number between 1 and 12.
1.
Any recent incident which you are most happy about?
Toastmaster Shankya, your time starts now.
Any incident which makes me happy about? Ladies and gentlemen, happiness is a relative term. Suddenly it pops up, and after some time, it may slowly go down. Now, let me give you an example. Well, a few months back, almost 8 months back, I got a job offer. And this offer was in a senior leadership position. Now, you know what happens when one resigned and it's on a notice period? Oh, you are on cloud number 9. You are what I would call exactly the eligible boy of your company. Everybody looks at you as the poster boy. People looks at you and silently gives you, hey, wherever you are going, please put my CV over there. Can you? And I literally love that one. Well, once I left the company, I was very happy. Happiness was understatement. I was in actually cloud number 9, and with that cloud, I literally flew on the cloud and landed from Bangalore to Noida. Now, when I'm here and I joined the company, well, everything was hunky-dory, everything was fine, but then came the work pressure. And that's when I realized that happiness is definitely a relative term. Well, it's an enjoy, it's a journey, lots of pressure is there, lots of many things are there, but as you learn, as you grow, it keeps on moving. So happiness will again come once I get settled down in the job, and that's why happiness is like a wave. Sometimes it go up, sometimes it go down. So life is, as we enjoy it, be happy, always stay positive. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya, for your intake. I hope you have always a happy wave in your life journey. Toastmaster Mansi, choose your favorite number.
Number 5.
Any important lesson you learned after a mistake?
I start my time. Mistake. We all tend to do it at certain point of life, and that is where I learn the most. Each chapter in my life, as a book I read, is a mistake. But the biggest mistake I have done is not to forgive somebody. So my greatest lesson from every mistake I do is forgive. Forgive who? If it's a conflict, forgive the other person, because we both have a relationship that's more important. Forgive whom? Second person. Forgive yourself. Mistakes are bound to happen. To err is to human. And that's why we all are humans. If you'll keep it in guilt, you'll always burn yourself. That's the second lesson and the biggest lesson I have learned from any mistake I do. One more thing, I love to do mistake is because I am a firm believer that if you won't do any mistake, you'll never learn. It's good to have multiple mistakes and keep a journey rather than having multiple trophies or achievements, and accomplishment is biggest barrier in your whole journey to success. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster and TTM Venkatesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mansi. From your intake, I can learn that mistakes helps in our improving each day. Toastmaster Pasha, choose your favorite number.
Pardon. 6.
Which number you said?
6, sir. Am I audible, sir? 6.
6. Okay. Celebrity you would like to meet and why?
Toastmaster Pasha, your time starts now.
So, celebrity I would like to meet. The thing, so it's been since my childhood, I have been struggling and working hard to become popular, famous, rich, and known personality. So, to some extent, I have achieved it. Now I have been in the journey in achieving it. I'm in process, under process. So to me, my mother and my father was my first mentors. I view them as my celebrities and role models. Apart from that, so in movies, stars from history books, from worldwide, on all in every field. So I admire people, but I don't consider means I don't want to follow them, or I don't want to be in love with them. So what I want to say, I want to be my own celebrity. I believe in becoming. I am believing in creating my own history. I don't want to follow the history. So I am in process of it. I am work under progress. I am working on it. So to me, celebrity, the future to be good celebrities like my father and my mother. They are great believers in good to humanity. They were firm believers in good to mankind. They are very principled persons. They always worked hard to to put a mark on humanity. So I want to be follow them. They are my celebrities, and one day I will become and reach and become one celebrity so that world can remember me. Thank you. Over to you, sir. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you. Thank you, Dr. Pasha, for your intake. Toastmaster Nibbi, can you take it?
Sure. What numbers are left out?
Many 9, 10, 11, 12, and
I'll go with 12.
12. Okay. Tell me your two strength and two weakness.
2 strengths and 2 weaknesses.
Yes.
Toastmaster Nibbi, your time, you can intimate me when to start.
I think you can
Now?
start.
Your time starts now.
Thank you. This suddenly it feels like I'm at a job interview and they're asking about what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. So I would say my strength is my ability to be resilient. No matter what comes my way, no matter what has happened and how bad things are, I think I have the ability to sail through it, maybe keep my head down and my head low at that point of time and just get through it and achieve whatever it is that I have set out to achieve. So I've been very resilient and very persistent. My other strength, I think, is my ability to empathize with everybody. Especially as a leader, I believe we shouldn't be in a position or leading from a place of, oh, I know it all and I don't need to know what is going on in other people's lives. It's my way or the highway. I don't think we can do that anymore. I think all of us have gone through so much over the last 3 or 4 years. And it is important to empathize with your team members, with your peers, and really see them as people, see them as human beings. I think those are my two strengths. And with respect to my weaknesses, maybe my weakness is also empathizing and being too understanding. And I think I like giving people the benefit of doubt. And I'm someone who believes in the innate goodness of human beings. And sometimes that can come in the way of working as a part of a team, working with other people. While my intentions are true, I think sometimes people do tend to take you for a ride. So I think if I could learn to strike a balance between learning to empathize and seeing people for who they are, I think that's when I will truly succeed. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivi, for your intake. Toastmaster Sneha. Toastmaster
Probably I
Sneha.
would not like to participate today. I just want to observe.
Okay. I think everyone has covered, or anybody has left.
Everybody covered, Venkatesh.
Then over to you, Toastmaster Sonal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh, for conducting this highly interactive table topic session. With that, we've completed 2 sessions, the prepared speech session and the table topic session. And now we are diving into our all-important feedback session, the general evaluation session. For that, we have Toastmaster Sankhya to take us forward, take the meeting forward.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonal. Now, as a general evaluator, I would be taking this evaluation session into 3 parts. The first part, I will start with the evaluation of our speaker. The second part will be the timing session. And the third part is the overall feedback on how the meeting went. Now, to begin with the first evaluation, so Toastmaster Nivi, I would say what a beautiful and emotional story to start off with. You can clearly see the emotional part as a pet parent. The strong bonding which you have with Brutus. The story, what I liked was you clearly defined as if you created a paint or a picture or a video in front of us, that when you explain that how you got the dog and how it came to you, how do you adopt it, and when it came to your life, what are the various lessons you learned from that, and how we can also incorporate with that. And at the end, you also gave a very nice feedback, or not feedback, kind of a ending thing that yes, everyone should adopt the dog, and because that is something which you will feel comfortable, which I strongly agree also. Now coming back, to the speech on which other parts on which it went very well. You are very calm and composed. You have a very smiling way of telling the story that gives that we can find out that you are very confident in front of the camera. You are very confident about the story that you are talking about. Now, if I want to give on, take it on the other hand, what could have been improved on this storyline? Now, the purpose of this speech was that this should have been a humorous speech, which is 18 to 22 minutes. But however, we found that the humor is something which you need to work on. Now, how do you work on the humorous parts? Is like you have to give a lot of punchlines in between. Now, for example, in certain stage, you say being persistent never gives up. That's one of the key things, on the points which you said, or embrace enthusiasm, be loyal. So the moment you say these things, or those come up with each point, you can create a random sentence which will create that it's a punchline in between. For example, you can say, be loyal. So most of us are very loyal when we join the company, but the loyalty comes out when we see the manager's face. So that kind of a thing. but however, I would love to see about my dogs. And then you come up to the dog and you speak about your cruelness. So these are the kind of punchlines which you could have put across. Secondly, in terms of your voice modulation, you have a very beautiful voice. But however, when it comes to the storytelling, the voice modulation was somewhere needs to be improved on, because especially when it comes to the humorous part. So humor will come when you give a certain, people are expecting something and you say something which we did not expect, right? So that's when the humor comes. So you need to give the pauses in between, and your voice modulation should work accordingly. That voice modulation is very important, especially when you're giving the punchlines, right? So that how it will be, you'll be able to create on the entire thing. But overall, it is really nice. You just have to work on this few points. Otherwise, it's a great effort. And thanks to you, Toastmaster Nivi, for taking out the time. And let's give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Nivi for taking us an awesome
Thank you
chat.
very much, Toastmaster Shankar.
Great. Now, let me, come up to my second point, the second part of Toastmaster Mansi. Toastmaster Mansi, can you please give the timing for the reports?
Yes, so I'll use this time again very meticulously. I'll just point out who wasn't in time.
Sure.
And we have from table topic speakers only Dr. Pasha, as he exceeded 2 minutes till 35 seconds. So you can improve on that. Rest, everybody were in time. And our keynote speaker, Toastmaster Nibi, took exactly 7:32 seconds. So you can improve, as Toastmaster Shankya mentioned, over storytelling. That's it from the timers report, and I hope the time doesn't eat you, everybody. So let's just stick to it. Go back to our general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mansi. A round of applause for Mansi. Okay, now let me come to the third part of my evaluation. So going back to the starting of the meeting, we started the meeting 8 minutes late because we were waiting for the other members to join in. Toastmaster Sonal has set the ground rules of the meeting. But however, there was a miss at this point of time because Toastmaster Mansi was the sergeant at arms of today's meeting, and that got missed out somehow. But however, Toastmaster Sonal set all the ground rules what is supposed to be, and as today's MC of the meeting, we also spoke about the various segments that which we are going to cover. Beautifully done on that. You also spoke about a very beautiful introduction. You also gave the beautiful introduction for every handover whenever you're doing that. That was very nice way of saying. In terms of the improvement, one small improvement over here is when you introduce the speaker for Toastmaster Nibi, somehow I couldn't find the speech title was mentioned. Right, so that would have been prepared for earlier, but however, it was brilliantly done. Let's give a round of applause for Toastmaster Sonal as today's MC of the day. Well, then next was our timer for the day, Toastmaster Mansi. Toastmaster Mansi, you have kept a very close observation on the timing part, but however, just a quick feedback over here that as per Toastmaster rules, as a timer, you are not supposed to ask or tell the speaker that, okay, I'm going to mark you or I'm going to time you. That's a strict no-no. As per Toastmaster rules, from the first word uttered or from the body language that it's represent that going to start the speech, you have to start the clock accordingly, right? So that's the only thing from you. And next, for coming to our table topic master, Toastmaster Venkatesh. Toastmaster Venkatesh, I think this is the first time or second time you come up with as a table topic master. I would say I would really enjoyed all your topics. They're very engaging, right? From the time you give the topic for each and everything, let's say the topics were such that everybody can relate to it. Nobody hesitant to speak out that what they have to. And what I really like about you, about the way you conducted, you gave a summary for each and every speaker. That gives a very nice way of carrying out the entire session. Just a small feedback over here. When you are starting off with the table topic, since we have guests as well, who may or may not be aware of what is the table topic all about, what you need to do is just to give an introduction that table topic is an impromptu speaking. And again, you can reiterate the timing because the timing card which Toastmaster Mansi showed was in the beginning. People may not remember, especially those who are not in the Toastmaster fraternity. So you can again reiterate the timing and then you can come up with your topic. So that's a small feedback. But apart from that, I really love the way you conducted the entire session. Let's give you a big round of applause for Toastmaster Venkatesh as the table topic master.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Now, with that, I'm the end of today's session and would love to pass on the baton to Toastmaster Sonal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya. With that, we have completed all three sessions of the Toastmasters meeting, the prepared speech session, the table topic session, and the all-important general evaluation session. With that, I will sign off as your MC and hand it back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonal, for overlooking today's meeting as today's master of ceremony and conducting today's session, the meeting number 324 at the Speakers and Toastmasters Club. I would like to thank everyone in today's meeting for taking out their time on a Sunday morning and being here as a part of Speakers and Toastmaster. And we also get to hear our wonderful speaker, Toastmaster Nibi, talking about the positive wisdoms that one can get from in their life. Thank you, everyone. With this, I would like to officially close the meeting number 324. So, Sankhya, can you please stop the recording?